All right, we are live. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello to all my new friends. It is your girl, Michelle Canan, also known as the Satisfied Wife. I have so many new friends because, the shit I do works, and there are some things blowing up in a certain Facebook group right now. I'm starting a lot of controversy and I freaking love it. For those of you that are into human design, oh my God, if you're into human design, leave a comment. Let me know. Let me know actually in the comments what is your human design type. Just in case you couldn't tell, I'm a generator. Shocker. And I get like really high. Like I get a lot of energy from responding to people, from responding to energy, from interactions. And so I'm just like buzzing right now because my posts are blowing up in this group. I think the comments on my post yesterday were at like 600 before the admin shut it down, and I'm back again. And I'm here today because I am going to be talking to you about how to get your needs met by your man. Let me just refresh to make sure that I am live and that everything is good. If you are catching me live, say hello. Yes, we are talking about how to get your man to give you what you need without feeling resentful or frustrated. Okay, perfect. Sometimes I write the titles of these lives and then I like forget what I'm talking about, but that's what we're talking about today. If you are joining me live, do say hi, leave a comment, let me know what your human design type is. And if you are catching the replay, do hashtag replay, hashtag reslay. Let me know that you're here. Also, let me know what your human design type is. I'm just so curious. I'm really into human design and I love it. It's part of the coaching stuff that I do. Okay, so today we're talking about how to get your man to give you what you need without feeling resentful or frustrated. And based on a lot of what I am seeing out there, there are a lot of women that feel really frustrated and really resentful of their partners and are also feeling like you're running a story, you're running a script in your brain that you can't get what you want and what you need from your man, right? Like there's a lot of media out there that's covering how hard it is for many women, like that are just that it feels like so many women have the weight of the world on their shoulders. Like they're managing their households, they're managing the schedules, they're trying to work, they're trying to mother, they're trying to stay healthy, they're trying to do self-care, they're trying to do all the things, and they're feeling really overwhelmed. And they're also at the same time feeling like they're not getting the support or the understanding or getting their needs met by their partner, by their masculine partner. If you feel brave, if you want to share and you resonate with that, you can leave a comment here. And I just want to preface by saying that when you're in my world, when you're in my community, there's absolutely nothing for you to be ashamed about. You don't have to like pretend that everything's perfect, everything's amazing, because this is how we learn and grow, by being upfront about what's working, what's not working, what we want to be working, and then we can make it different. Hi, whoever's signing on, let me know that you're here. Just want to know who I'm talking to. And a lot of women are feeling like they're not getting what they need from their man. And the tactics that they're using aren't working. And so there's a narrative out there, there's a story out there about men that they don't want to help us, right? That, you know, the patriarchy is against us, that the world isn't set up to help women, that society isn't set up to help women. And it's totally understandable because it feels that way for a lot of women. But if you're in a relationship with a man, and I'm going to make an assumption here that you're in a relationship with a man that you love, and also that he loves you, and that you know that he loves you, and you know there have been times in your relationship, maybe when you got together or at the beginning, or there have been different moments where you felt his love and where you felt his support, but that you keep finding yourself in a place where he's not able to or willing to step up for you in the ways that you know that you want him to, or that when you try to communicate with him, it either falls on flat ears, or he's too busy, or it seems like he doesn't care, or he's not responding in the way that you want. What happens, right, is that a lot of women not come up with a narrative, because the narrative is already out there, but buy into, find proof of that story, that like, okay, you know, he doesn't want to, or I'm trying to tell him, but he's not listening to me, right? Or I'm telling him what I need, and he won't do it. And then the assumptions start to come up, the explanations start to come up about why he isn't doing it, why he isn't giving you what you want, why he isn't supporting you. And a lot of those stories are either untrue or they're not helpful, right? That they might be true in the moment, but the circumstances for why it's true and why you're not getting met by your partner is because we as modern women and also our masculine partners, we haven't been given the tools, we haven't been given the resources for understanding how to partner with our masculine man in a way that feels good for him and feels good for us, to set both of us up for success, to get what we want and need in a way that feels healthy for both of us, in a way that feels nourishing for both of us. But a lot of us, because of past trauma, past pain, of certain narratives that are out there, we make assumptions about why that are very negative or judgmental, not just about men, but that also then get layered onto our man, our partner, the person that we are living with, that we're choosing to grow with, that we're joining resources with, that we're creating life with, that we're building our dreams with together. And when we do that, we start to cock block him. We get in the way of, and we create a vicious cycle. We co-create that vicious cycle that gives us the lack of results or gives us what we don't want. And then it happens again, and then it happens again. And then when we don't get the results that we want, it's like further proof. Like, see, he doesn't want to, or he doesn't care, or he's lazy, or he doesn't feel like it, or he's inadequate, or whatever, or he'd rather that I do it anyway. But most of us don't know and don't realize that a lot of those preconceptions, a lot of those judgments do something to us energetically. And so when we're approaching our partners, we're doing it in a way that makes him non-receptive, that makes him not want to listen to you, that makes him not want to partner with you, not want to join forces with you, because it makes him feel like shit, or because it doesn't respect him and where he's at and what he's actually good at, or the way that he would do it. Because many of us, especially us alpha, dominant, visionary, builder, go-getter kind of women, we have a set idea in our mind of what it's supposed to look like when he steps up for us, of how he's supposed to do things, of how he's supposed to act on the timelines that he's supposed to be on. We're like deciding for him, right? And we're micromanaging him in that way. And we're like managing everything. And that is putting your partner in a disempowered situation and position that he doesn't like. And it makes him not want to give you what you want and need, when actually he loves men. Your man would love to make you happy. He would love to be your hero. He would love to give you everything. He would love to be the source of your joy and your pleasure and your turn on and your abundance and your prosperity. Like, he'd love to be that for you. He would love it. But the way that the situation is set up, and this is not a shame and blame thing, it's, we just don't know. We don't realize this. The way that it's set up, the way that we're approaching our partner doesn't work and doesn't get us those results. Now, if you're a businesswoman, if you're an entrepreneur like I am, if you have a situation, right, whether it's with an employee or with a client or a process in the way that you run something that doesn't work, right, you would be crazy to do the same thing over and over again and still not get the results that you want, right? You would be like, okay, that isn't working. Let me do something different so that I get a different kind of result. But when it comes to our partners, when it comes to our husbands and our boyfriends, it's like that logic totally flies out the window, because our inner pain and our inner trauma and the common narrative that is out there is telling us something different, right? Is putting all of the blame on him or on something outside of yourself, which makes us actually feel victimized. Right? Which actually makes us feel powerful, right? Because if he doesn't do that, if it's all his fault, then we can't be happy, and we can't have the relationships that we want, and we can't have the life that we want, and we can't self-care, and we can't grow our businesses, and we can't have it all. We can't balance it all. And that is part of how everything is set up to keep us trapped. It's not him. It's not your man. It's not only like the patriarchy that's set up to keep us trapped. It's this narrative that has us in a war, a battle against our partners who are actually our biggest opportunity. Like your man, if you knew how to partner with him, if you knew how to set him up for success, you would both reap the rewards. You would both reap the benefits of knowing how to approach him in a way where he's receptive, where he's open, where he feels like, okay, like I can show up and be myself and come up with my way of doing things and my approach in my zone of genius. Because something else that we don't learn as empowered women is that men are different than us, and how they do things, how they interpret things, their energy, their speed, the way that they focus, the way that their minds work is different than us. And so we look at our man, and when he doesn't do what we would do, the judgments start, the fear starts to kick in, and we start to make assumptions based on that story that everybody is telling us, that we are going to be abused, that we're going to be manipulated, that we're going to be let down, that we're going to be unsupported. And look, it's not that that's never happened, right? It's not that there aren't bad men out there. It's not that you haven't been in bad situations with those kinds of partners before. 100%. I'm sure that you have, because most women have, but we're letting that old pain, we're letting that old trauma infiltrate and dictate the kind of experience that we can be having with our current partner now, with your husband, with your boyfriend, with your fiance, with the man that you might want to be with, right? I know there's a lot of single women I love to work with that they want to dismantle those limiting beliefs and old stories that have sabotaged their relationships in the past, and not from a shame place, not from a it's your fault kind of place. But if you knew, right, like an entrepreneur, if you knew that you were doing something that was not giving you the result that you want, you would change what you're doing. You would show up different, right? Like you would try different strategies, different tactics. You wouldn't just say, oh, it's the client's fault. Because even if it was the client's fault, even if it was your employee's fault, you would do something different so that you wouldn't keep finding yourself in the situation where you're being let down, where you're not getting the results that you want, where you feel like you're not getting your needs met. And you can do that in your business because there's a separation there, right? Like a different kind of emotional attachment or relationship between you and your business. But when it comes to your relationship, right, something that's so close to your heart and so vulnerable and touches like such a deep place inside, so many of us are just getting triggered over and over by our partners in these situations, not realizing that this is actually the opportunity for you to start doing something different in a beautiful, empowering way so that you can start to see different results with your partner. So if you want to get everything that you want to need from your man, it's time to start doing something different, right? Because you can keep blaming men, you can keep blaming him, you can keep using that same old story. Like, it's fine. You can keep saying the same old thing, but that just means the same thing is going to happen, right? And what I teach in my Goddess Wife School, which doors are open right now for registration at goddesswifeschool.com. You should go check it out. What I teach in my Goddess Wife School is about having a 100-100 relationship where we each take full 100% responsibility, both our partners, but also ourselves. And if you want it to be different, the onus is on you to start showing up different. And before your mind jumps to, but like, it's not fair and why do I have to? What if the way that you could show up different actually felt nourishing for you and felt expansive and felt sexy and felt relaxing, right? We don't realize that we can start to show up different in the way we actually want to show up in our relationships with our partners, in our pleasure, in our joy, in our like lean back kind of energy, like the way that you want, right? You don't want to push him all the time. You don't want to nag him. You don't micromanage him and chase him and expect the worst from him and just say, you know what, you're not going to do it anyway. I'm just going to do it. But that's what so many women are doing. And then as a self-fulfilling prophecy, getting those exact same results. You're doing the things that you don't want to do and getting the results that you don't want to get with your man. So why wouldn't you do something different that felt good for you and that was actually logical and that let you show up as your highest and best so that it could create the space for him to show up as his highest and best too? That's a 100-100 relationship. I teach that you do not compromise in your relationship. Everyone stop compromising. You don't have to compromise, and you can still both get what you want. How's that for not the common narrative? Well, look, I want you to get everything that you want from your man in a way that feels really good for you and also feels really good for him. Because if you're going to keep bossing him around or forcing or trying to make everything like equal and compromising and meeting in the middle and doing things in a way that don't feel good, it doesn't matter if he gives you everything that you want and need, because you're still going to be forcing it, and that's never going to feel good for you. Right? You want him to step up. You want him to be inspired. You want him to do it from his place of like his energy and his confidence and his desire to do it. Right? So how can you start to show up, right? I teach a lot of tools and strategies. Like, obviously I can't teach all of it in like a Facebook Live. That's why I have my Goddess Wife School. I teach these tools and strategies and how you can start to show up with him so that you get those results in a way that feels really good for you. Let me say that again. In a way that feels really good for you. Okay? Because what you're doing right now, I mean, it doesn't feel really good for you, right? And it's not getting you what you want, right? So why keep doing it? Let's do something different. Let me give you the invitation, the permission to start creating a space for your partner to be inspired, to step up and be the man that you want him to be, to give you what you need in a way that also feels good for him too. And when you do that, when you allow yourself to receive, when you lean back and create that kind of space and he becomes inspired, you both get what you want. You both get what you need. And that makes such a strong partnership. That makes such an incredible foundation for being a power couple and building a life together, building an existence together that is nourishing for the both of you, that makes you stronger together, that makes you happier together, that makes you fall deeper in love, and that lets you be real partners instead of nitpicking and negotiating and micromanaging and trying to figure out how I can get a little bit and he can get a little bit. That no, you guys coming together can give you both everything that you want in infinite partnership and making all of your dreams come true. That's what makes you unfuckwithable. It's a really good feeling. It's the feeling that I have in my relationship. That's why I teach this, because I discovered the secret. I made this work in my relationship. I used to get in the way of all of my masculine partners. I used to cock block them. I used to micromanage them. I used to criticize them for doing things wrong, not doing things the way that I would do it, for just assuming that I do everything better and faster and more efficient. And you know what? It ended up making me miserable. It ended up making them miserable. It ended a lot of relationships. And in my marriage, I decided that I wasn't going to do that shit anymore. I wasn't going to get in my man's way of being his highest and best, because I know that when he can show up as his highest and best, the ripple effects, like what I get from that is amazing. And that's what I want for you too. I want you to have that kind of partnership with your man. So if you want to learn how to do that, it's all inside of my Goddess Wife School. It's an amazing, amazing 10-week live program. Doors close next week. We start together on the 26th. Like hundreds of testimonials, so many satisfied wives, girlfriends, women that are building relationships, single women that just like want to end those patterns, single mamas that want to figure out how to have good relationship with their exes. Like, this is all the stuff that we never learn as modern empowered women for how to have amazing relationships with our man. And I want to teach it to you. I want you to be one of my amazing goddess wives that is really having this incredible experience where you feel limitless with your man, where you know how to join forces with him, you know how to communicate with him in a way that he is receptive, he's inspired, he's delighted, he wants to be the man that you want him to be, and it feels really, really good for the both of you. So join us. You can shoot me a DM if you have any questions. My VIP spots are half full already, and I'm so excited to see you inside. So if this resonated for you, please leave a comment. Let me know if you have questions. Leave a comment. If you know a woman that needs to hear this, if you know a woman that is struggling in her partnership or struggling with men, please tag her. Please share this with her. Please send her the link to my Goddess Wife School. I really want to help as many strong women as possible feel like they can finally like relax and lean back and really lean on their man and trust that he has you. He's there for you. and you're both getting everything that you want together. Let's change relationship. Let's change the paradigm for what's possible. Let's bring men and women back together in partnership, feeling good, and creating an amazing future for ourselves and for our kids and for future generations. Relationships are beautiful, and they really are the portal and the opportunity for incredible healing and growth and building exactly what you want in your life with another person, right? Like, you can only go so far alone. When you're really in partnership, when you come together, you can go so much further, and it's absolutely amazing. All right, enough for me. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.